There are three crucial spiritual tests that you need to pass. We need to understand that in the journey of life, where paths are unpredictable and often rugged, there exists a gateway to profound wisdom and transformation. This gateway, though feared by many, is an inevitable part of our existence. In order to pass through this gate and reach spiritual enlightenment, we need to pass three important spiritual tests. The first of which is known as the test of loss and suffering. Imagine walking through a dense forest. The trees are tall, their branches intertwining above, casting shadows that dance with the sunlight. This forest is life, filled with beauty, mystery, and the unknown. As you walk, you stumble upon a clearing, and here you face your first significant spiritual test, the test of loss and suffering. Loss and suffering, much like the shadows in the forest, are an integral part of our journey. They are not just obstacles, but teachers in disguise, offering lessons that are vital for our spiritual growth. This test, formidable as it may seem, holds the key to unlocking a realm of resilience and understanding within us. As you ponder the test of loss and suffering, a figure emerges from the shadows of the forest. This figure is none other than the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, a name synonymous with enlightenment and wisdom. The Buddha, known for his profound insights into life and suffering, stands as a beacon of knowledge in this mystical clearing. The Buddha's story is a fascinating one. Born into a life of luxury as a prince, Siddhartha had everything one could wish for. However, despite his comfortable life, he felt that something was missing. He was troubled by the suffering he saw around him. This led him to leave his palace and seek answers to the deep questions of life. Why do we suffer? What is the purpose of this suffering? His journey took him through many experiences, from extreme asceticism to deep meditation. Finally, under the Bodhi tree, he attained enlightenment. He realized that life is marked by suffering, but this suffering stems from our desires and attachments. The key to overcoming suffering, he found, is to let go of these attachments and understand the transient nature of the world. Another philosophy that emphasizes suffering is Stoicism. Reflect upon the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, where loss and suffering are viewed not as misfortunes, but opportunities to practice virtues such as courage, patience, and wisdom. Stoics believe that our response to adversity is what truly defines us, not the adversity itself. Similarly, in this test, it's not the loss or suffering that we should focus on, but our reaction to it. Continuing from the Stoic perspective, let's delve into a notable story from ancient Greece involving Xenophon, a well-known philosopher and student of Socrates. Xenophon's approach to a personal tragedy beautifully illustrates the Stoic principles. Xenophon, like many of his contemporaries, was deeply influenced by Stoic philosophy. This mindset was put to a significant test when he faced one of the most heart-wrenching experiences a parent can endure, the loss of a child. His son Gryllus, a young and brave soldier, was killed in battle. The news of Gryllus's death was a shock that could have shattered any father's spirit. Yet, Xenophon's response to this devastating news was remarkably stoic. Upon hearing of his son's death, Xenophon didn't respond with outward grief or despair, as many might expect. Instead, he maintained a calm and composed demeanor. This reaction might seem cold or indifferent at first glance, but it was deeply rooted in his philosophical beliefs. Stoicism teaches that events themselves are not good or bad. Rather, it's our judgment about those events that causes us distress. Xenophon understood that death, especially in battle, was a common occurrence in those times. He chose to focus not on the loss itself, but on how he reacted to it. In his mind, his son had died a hero, fulfilling his duty with courage and honor. This perspective allowed Xenophon to view the situation not as a personal tragedy, but as a natural course of life, a viewpoint that epitomizes the Stoic approach to adversity. By embracing this philosophy, Xenophon showed remarkable resilience. He didn't deny his pain or grief. Rather, he chose to accept it as part of life's natural order. His response was not to lament what had happened, but to cherish the memory of his son and the virtues he had embodied in his life. This acceptance and focus on the positive aspects of his son's life demonstrate the core Stoic belief in maintaining a balanced emotional state, regardless of external circumstances. As we delve deeper into this test, we come across the powerful parable of the lotus flower. In muddy and murky waters, the lotus flower blooms, pristine and beautiful. This symbolizes how, even amidst the darkest and most challenging times of loss and suffering, we too can rise unscathed and more beautiful than before. The mud, representing our struggles, is not a hindrance but a necessary element for our growth and blooming. The test of loss and suffering also teaches us the profound art of letting go. Just like autumn leaves that gracefully detach from trees, embracing their fall to the ground, we too learn to let go of attachments, understanding that in the grand tapestry of life, every loss has its place and purpose. But how do we navigate this test successfully? The key lies in embracing our vulnerabilities. When we acknowledge our pain, accept it and learn from it, we transform our suffering into a catalyst for growth. This is not a journey to be rushed. Like a patient gardener who nurtures a seedling, understanding that growth takes time, we too must give ourselves the grace of time to heal and evolve. In the next part of our journey, the essence of our exploration shifts. Where previously we grappled with the shadows of loss, here we are invited to dance with the winds of change. Surrender and acceptance, often misunderstood as signs of weakness or defeat, are in truth powerful forces that unlock deep inner peace and understanding. The test of surrender and acceptance challenges us to look at life from a different perspective. Imagine a leaf floating down a river. It does not resist the current, it flows with it, effortlessly and gracefully. This leaf embodies the essence of surrender, not a resignation to fate, but a harmonious alignment with the natural flow of life. Similarly, we are encouraged to flow with the currents of life, embracing change and uncertainty with open arms. This is where the ancient concept of Wu Wei, a central tenet of Taoism, becomes a guiding light. Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action, is not about inactivity. Instead, it's a principle that suggests the best way to handle a situation is often to let things follow their natural course, responding with natural, unforced actions that align with the essence of the situation. Think of a tree standing tall and firm. It doesn't strain to grow. It simply allows itself to develop in accordance with the natural order. Its branches sway gracefully with the wind, never fighting against the breeze, but moving with it in a dance of strength and flexibility. This is Wu Wei. The tree is active in its growth and responsive to the wind, yet it does not exert force unnecessarily. In the context of our lives, practicing Wu Wei means recognizing when to act and when to remain still. It's understanding that sometimes the best action is no action at all. In moments of challenge and decision, instead of forcing a solution or struggling against the tides of life, we can step back and observe. By doing so, we often find that solutions emerge on their own, problems resolve naturally, and paths open up without forceful intervention. Wu Wei also teaches us about balance. It's a delicate act of tuning into our environment, understanding the rhythms and patterns of the world around us, and acting in harmony with them. It's about being fully present in each moment, aware and attuned to the subtleties of life's flow. This awareness helps us make decisions that are in sync with the natural order, leading to outcomes that are more effective and less stressful. The beauty of this test lies in its simplicity and its complexity. On one hand, it requires a simple shift in our mindset, from resistance to acceptance, from control to surrender. On the other hand, it challenges the very core of our human instincts, the desire to control our destiny, to fight against the tides of change. As we embrace this test, we encounter the profound lesson of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean passive resignation or apathy. Rather, it signifies a deep understanding of the transient nature of life. Just as the seasons change, bringing about a cycle of birth, growth, decay, and renewal, our lives too are in a constant state of flux. Embracing this impermanence allows us to live fully in the present moment, free from the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. But this journey of surrender and acceptance is not without its challenges. It asks us to let go of our deepest fears, our need for certainty, and our illusions of control. It invites us to trust the journey, even when the path ahead is shrouded in mystery. As the fabric of our spiritual journey unfurls, we find ourselves at a crossroads, a place where paths of previous learning intersect with new horizons. Here, in the heart of our quest, we encounter the test of non-judgment, a crucial phase that allows us to reach a higher plane of consciousness. This stage of our journey is akin to entering a hall of mirrors. Each reflection, each image we see, is an opportunity to practice non-judgment. This test isn't about navigating physical challenges or external hardships. It's an internal exploration, a quest to understand and refine our inner dialogue. The test of non-judgment is unique in its approach. Unlike the previous tests, it doesn't present itself through external circumstances, but emerges from within our minds and hearts. It's a test that asks us to observe our thoughts and emotions, to become aware of our tendencies to judge, label, and categorize both ourselves and others. One might wonder, why is non-judgment important on a spiritual path? The answer lies in the profound power of unconditional acceptance and love. When we judge, we create barriers, not just between ourselves and others, but also within our own hearts. Non-judgment paves the way for a deeper connection with the world and ourselves, fostering empathy, understanding, and compassion. This test draws inspiration from the teachings of mindfulness, a practice deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and feelings without attaching labels or judgments to them. It's about witnessing the parade of our inner world with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than criticism or control. But how does one pass this test? The key is in the practice of awareness and presence. Each moment of our day, each interaction, and each thought becomes a canvas where we can practice non-judgment. It's a gradual process of unlearning old patterns and embracing a new way of being. The beauty of this test lies in its subtlety and its profound impact. By practicing non-judgment, we begin to see the world and ourselves in a new light. We learn to appreciate the richness of diversity, the beauty of uniqueness, and the value of differing perspectives. In this context, let's delve into the teachings of a philosopher who embodies the essence of non-judgment, Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Zen Buddhist monk, poet, and peace activist. Thich Nhat Hanh has spent his life teaching the art of mindfulness and the importance of living in the present moment. His philosophy aligns perfectly with the test of non-judgment, offering practical and accessible insights for anyone on a spiritual journey. Thich Nhat Hanh suggests that the root of judgment lies in our inability to fully understand and empathize with others. He teaches that to judge another person is to lack a deep understanding of their experiences and circumstances. His teachings urge us to look at people and situations with the eyes of compassion, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles, often invisible to the outside world. One of his most powerful teachings is the concept of interbeing. This concept highlights the interconnectedness of all things, suggesting that to harm another is to harm oneself. In the realm of non-judgment, this translates to understanding that our judgments not only affect those we judge, but also impact our own inner peace and happiness. Thich Nhat Hanh often speaks about the importance of deep listening and loving speech. He believes that these practices can transform relationships and heal conflicts. By listening deeply without judgment, we offer others the space to express themselves fully. This act of non-judgmental listening fosters understanding and closeness, breaking down barriers and opening up channels of communication. As we conclude this part of our spiritual journey, we recognize that the test of non-judgment is not a destination, but a continuous path. It's a journey that doesn't end, but evolves, taking us closer to a state of being where love, compassion, and empathy flow freely. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to Zenora. Thanks for watching.